It's week 9 of the National Football League, and everyone's watching Cade Otton. He's going to be a busy man in the passing game. It's the Buccaneers and the Jags, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 25.
It is time for football as we welcome you to another edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Thanks for having us in. Mike Tirico, Greg Olsen. Greg, it's that time of year. A little bit more urgency. The calendar page turns to November. We kind of know who the good teams are. The midpoint of the NFL season, always a great time to take a step back and look ahead to what's down the road for us.
Yeah, no doubt. And I always felt, even as a player, that you never really knew how good you were as a team or how good everyone else around the league was until you kind of got to this point in the year. November, December football. That's really where teams separate themselves from the pack, and that's where playoff pictures start to unravel. That's where there's a little bit more clarity between the haves and the have-nots. And this is when NFL football gets fun. Holidays are coming. Playoff pictures are unfolding. It's a blast.
The kicker, Chase McLaughlin, will get this one started. And off we go from Tampa. Now return coming from the 7. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Jacksonville offense ready to go to work for the first time. Leading them out, the former #1 overall pick back in the 2021 draft. It's Trevor Lawrence.
I think when you go back and watch the film for last week, Mike, he played fairly well for the most part. Now, are there some things to clean up? Absolutely. Some of his footwork, both inside and outside the pocket, still has a long way to go. The occasional errant throw or just thinking, hey, I've got a big arm, I'm going to fit this ball in the window. Some of that stuff needs to get cleaned up, but overall, not bad. But what matters the most in wins and losses, and he just wasn't the difference maker his team needed when they needed him the most.
You get a look there at his numbers on the ground from a week ago. Look him up on a 2nd down and 8. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. There's a short one taken by Ingram. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
Second and 7. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. That's into the hands of Travis Etienne. And he's not going to be able to get away. Good defense on the perimeter. It'll be a loss of yardage.
I think this play is a direct result of his film study. He knew exactly where that ball was going before the play was snapped. And that play recognition, man, it separates a lot of guys in this league and results in a negative play.
Play action now. It's Lawrence. And this is going to be incomplete. That is a letdown there. Pass looked to be on target. No catch. And now fourth down.
This offense has to find a way to be better on first and second down, Mike. Living in these third and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
So on fourth down, here's Corey Bojorquez to kick it away. And we will not have a return here. This one angled out of bounds. So the Tampa Bay offense set to work for the first time in this one. And they're led by the #1 overall pick back in 2018. Greg, it is Baker Mayfield at quarterback.
Well, the nice thing about the NFL, Mike, is there's always next week. If you're coming off a good game, you got to put it to bed and come back and play well again. But in this case, things could not have gone much worse for this guy last week in that performance. So this game couldn't come fast enough. He said he had a great week of practice. He was able to put that behind him mentally and physically, and they're going to need him to play a lot better if they're going to come away today with a win.
Done. What's that?
Here's carry #1 for Rachaad White. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. With that, I want to give you a look at his numbers on the ground in last week's game. Here's 2nd and 6.
What's that? Done.
Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. Fine work defensively. That's going to be knocked away and go down as an incompletion. Tyson Campbell that time, able to knock it away.
You know, there's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
What's that?
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Jalen McMillan, the one he was looking for there. And that's going to lead to a 4th down.
And this passing game continues to come up short these last couple plays. That's 2 consecutive incompletions in a row. Now they're staring 4th down right in the face.
On 4th down, on comes Jake Camarda to punt for Tampa Bay. A fair catch taken here, and it's going to come right at the 15-yard line. The Jaguars offense ready to see the football for the 2nd time. They'll search for the first points of this game as they begin the drive on 1st and 10. They'll give it to ETN to start this drive. Not much there, maybe a yard. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside.
Ready up.
Here's 2nd and 9.
All right, let's go.
Lawrence. He locates the open man. That's Christian Kirk. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down. Third down, 3 to go.
Hey, Lion.
They'll try and run for the first with ETN. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
And what a play by the interior of this defensive line. There was nowhere to run. He's able to get in the backfield for a big stop, and it sets up 4th down.
Here's Corey Bojorquez now. He'll be looking for something a little better than that first effort, which he shanked. A fair catch here. Called for and made beyond the 30-yard line. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs ready to get back to work. And as we move into the second half of the season, he continues to put up the big numbers. Currently the NFL's leader in passing as we play here in the month of November. Set to go now on 1st and 10.
Set. Attack. Attack.
They'll start this on the ground, and here's White. And he's fighting to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not do it. This is going to be a loss of a yard.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. That's Palmer, the man in motion. A 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Open man downfield, that's Godwin. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. That one good for 26 yards.
There's a reason certain guys, Mike, just always seem to be open. It's really because route running is more art than it is science. How do you manipulate the defense to find open spots or win versus man to create separation and earn the trust of your quarterback?
Baker going to hand it to White. And that'll go for a gain of about 4. Marquise Bell up to make the stop. Here's a 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Mayfield. A short one there to Otten. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down. They'll try to run for it. Here's White. A gain there of 10 yards. It's a 1st down for Tampa Bay.
This is already a little better than the first time they had the ball, Mike. Remember, opening possession, 3 and out. Showing some signs of life here now. Nice pick up there by the back to pick up the 1st down.
1st and 10. Off the play fake, it's Mayfield. That is brought in at the 10. What a pickup, a gain of 18. And it sets up 1st and goal.
These crossing concepts are frequently used, Mike, throughout the entire game, all across the league. And what it does is it creates a lot of natural rubs. You run out the backside of the defense and rely heavily on the yards after the catch, and that's exactly how they're able to pick up this big game.
They've got it at the 8. First down.
Set. Done. What's that?
They'll run with White to the 5-yard line. Now here's 2nd and goal.
Set. What's that? What's that?
Baker to throw. Oh, that swung out wide and intercepted. And the Jaguars are going to take over at their own 2.
So you find yourself entering the red zone. Mike, it's hard to not start envisioning scoring a touchdown. Well, that interception, it changes everything. This is a huge missed opportunity. You have to capitalize and find a way to hang 6 on the defense.
Here comes the Jacksonville offense now, heading back onto the field. And they're going to hear it from this crowd. They're backed up deep as they start 1st and 10.
Red 23.
To throw is Lawrence. That's over the middle to the tight end Ingram. And he's going to be brought down up past the 20. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10.
These are 24. Rick, Bronco switch. Bronco switch.
Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
That's to the sideline and intercepted. Picked off by Malik Mustafa.
You know, Mike, anytime a team can go nickel or dime and come off the field with an interception, I just am constantly reminded the importance of defensive back depth when you're building an NFL roster. I mean, think back. This is not the old NFL base 3-4, base 4-3. Offenses are going to roll out 2, 3, 4 high-level wide receivers at you in this pass-first modern era. If you can't roll out 5 DBs and all of them hold their own and be trusted to hold up, you are going to struggle defending these pass-first modern offenses.
Set. What's that? What's that?
On first down, it's White. And he'll get 2 on this one before being taken down. Second down and 8.
Set. Done.
Here comes Otten in motion.
What's that?
On second down, Baker. Nowhere to get away, and he's going to go down. Now, following that sack, we have a player who was injured. Athletic training staff looking at him, so we'll step aside. Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long.
Set. What's that? Done.
Throwing is Baker. They'll set up the screen to White. He's into space past the 25. It was 3rd and 16, and they got 17. And a new set of downs.
You can kind of sense this defense smells blood in the water. They're able to get to the quarterback on the previous down and thinking, heck, let's do it again. Great timing on this screenplay by the play caller. Use the aggressiveness of the defense against them, time up the screen to the back, and pick up a first down.
So they move inside the 20, 1st and 10 at the 18. They send Godwin in motion. Now the Bucs will take their first timeout. So they come to the line for first down and 10.
Set. What's that?
Now Mayfield. Look wide. Get this one complete. And he's not going to be able to get away. Very good coverage on the perimeter. It goes down as a loss of yards.
Well, I can promise you one thing. That's certainly not how that play was drawn up. I thought he did a nice job initially buying about as much time as he could, but realized there was nothing downfield developing, and he had to throw it short and didn't get anything positive.
Set. What's that? What's that?
On second down, a run with White. He'll get this right to the 20-yard line. Josh Hines-Allen there on the tackle. and long. To throw is Mayfield. That's over the middle of the tight end, Otten. And a good job here defensively. They did not let him get away. He's well short of the first down marker.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks. And now they got a fourth down decision to make.
On fourth down, Chase McLaughlin in for the Bucs. This about as short as you can get. McLaughlin's kick is good. And the Buccaneers will take a 3-0 lead.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
McLaughlin, the kickoff for the Buccaneers.
So after the field goal to open up the scoring, the kickers back out for this kickoff. This one taken at the 7. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Jaguars offense ready to take over once again. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look. Lawrence now to throw on 1st down. Open man is Davis. Second down, Lawrence. That's caught left side by Ingram. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
What a luxury that certain teams, when they have a guy like this, I mean, not only is he the big target, but then to have that size and speed to run away from these linebackers and do so much of his damage after the catch.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. Now here's Lawrence. That's caught once again by Ingram. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. So as they look at the injured player, we'll take a timeout. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4.
Hey, go!
From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. And he's going to be taken down right at the 25-yard line.
There's this misconception out there, Mike, that in the NFL, you have to run the same amount of run plays as you do pass plays. And as you're seeing in this drive, you can fall on one side of that coin a little bit more as long as you're able to remain effective and efficient. So far, their passing game has dominated here early, and that last pickup leads to a 1st down.
Hey, hey. Here we go.
A first down throw for Lawrence. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be second down.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
That is caught at the 3. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. It's his second touchdown of the year. And a special moment as the rookie catches his first NFL touchdown.
And the more they can develop this young tight end, Mike, it just gives this quarterback additional weapons, and it's just going to make this offense even more difficult to stop.
A tight end, his first career NFL touchdown. Do you remember yours?
Oh, man, I'll tell you, I could recall it like it was yesterday, Mike. We were up Sunday night, primetime game, Lambeau Field against Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers. And the previous play, Brian Urlacher recovered a fumble, probably around the 20, 25-yard line. Brian Greasy was our quarterback for Chicago, and the ensuing play, threw it up to the left corner of the end zone. And, Mike, guess who called the game? None other than the legendary John Madden.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. On the return is Trey Palmer. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Bucs offense ready to get back to work. They trail by 4. A touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. He'll send a tight end in motion right. The drive begins with a run by White. And he'll bring this across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 4. One of the tight ends in motion right. Throwing on 2nd down, Mayfield. Get this complete right side to Otten. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. It's been a busy first quarter for him so far. His 3rd catch goes for a 1st down.
Just seems like every year, Mike, the tight end position just continues to grow within the passing game and establishes a bigger and bigger role. And listen, I know I'm biased, but if you want to have a good passing game, you better have a good tight end.
Here's 1st and 10. So after 1, it's the Jaguars on top. We'll have more from Tampa after this. They go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. putting the tight end in motion. They'll run over center with White, and he surges forward for a gain of about 5.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You gotta have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5.
Set. Cut. What's that?
On play action, Mayfield. That is intercepted. And the Jaguars will take over possession here at the 44.
So this is where an offensive play caller needs to come to the rescue of his quarterback, because this defense, they're onto you. They've got 2 picks. They're starting to pick up on your tendencies. They're shifting guys over to counter them. Now you've got to add some wrinkles. Now you've got to throw them a curveball and try to shift back some of that advantage to your side of the ball.
The Jags offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10.
Set. Hey, Lion.
Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. This one is caught by Reed. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
This is a tale as old as time, Mike. It seems that anytime a team forces a takeaway, fumble, or interception, the ensuing drive starts with a shot, a deep play in the air to try to seize on some of that momentum. We just saw a great example of it here.
They'll come up here 1st and 10. Play action now. It's Lawrence. His throw left side, taken in by Kirk. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
Anytime you're facing a zone defense, you're working from your first progression all the way through. But when guys are open in this level, Mike, they don't stay open very long. So what they taught us as receivers, if you're open, stay open. And if you're not open, you better get open quick, as that ball is coming out.
In motion, Reed. On 1st down, Lawrence. He'll go right back to Kirk again. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play caller. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes, and there is a lot of room to operate.
A couple of big plays, one after the other, and now it's 1st and goal. Throwing is Lawrence. That's complete to ETN. And a good job there of hemming him in. They get it to the 8-yard line.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
He's going to lose yardage. How about the defense standing up in the red zone? They'll mark it at the 10.
Great job by that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming, and he's able to get through that hole and take the ball carrier down for a loss.
3rd and goal.
On red.
Here's Lawrence to throw. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
They went for it all on that one and just a little bit off. Ball winds up hitting the ground. They've got to move forward. The opportunities are out there. Better execution, better location, and they got some big plays in their future.
So on comes Joshua Carty to try this field goal. This about as short as you can get. Hardy's kick is good. And the Jaguars go out to a 10-3 lead.
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in first and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
Palmer now to return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Buccaneers offense, running back Rachaad White, ready for this next possession. As we take a look at the league leaders in receiving touchdowns, he tops all other NFL running backs to this point in the season. A give, and here's White. And he'll work this past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Jordan Jefferson there on the stop. Here's a 2nd and 9. Here comes Otten in motion. Off the play fake. It's Mayfield.
The pass on 2nd down. Tackle made back at the 22-yard line.
Third and long. From the gun, it's Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. At sometimes, he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. Question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out?
Here's Jake Camarda now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. The Jaguars offense about ready to take over once more. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. The drive begins with a carry from Etienne. And nothing on that one, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
A corner who is not only a good tackler, Mike, but a willing tackler can be a huge asset to any defense. So often they get a bad rap. They're considered just pass defenders. They want to run around. But for a guy to be able to come up and force the run and keep this to no gain, man, that makes a big difference on any defense.
And he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a sack and a loss of a couple.
Early in this drive, they're trying to establish some offensive rhythm, but now after that 2nd down sack, really puts them in a must-pass. You don't want to be in 3rd and long very often in the NFL. It's not a very high percentage conversion rate, and with the danger of a 3-and-out, they better hold up here in pass protection.
Lawrence from the gun here on 3rd down. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete. After that incomplete pass, we have a player shaken up. The training staff going to look and will step out for a moment. Here's their punter now, as he is on to punt for Jacksonville. But he cannot get away. Great job down there to hold him to a short return. Three tight ends in the game to start the drive.
Set. What's up? What's up?
Here's a give up the middle with White, and he'll get to about the 15, and that's it. Here's 2nd and 9.
Set. What's up? Set.
Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. He'll find his running back, White. And they're going to get him down right at the 25.
This is such a challenging route for any defender to guard, Mike, and here's why. It's really a three-way go. I can either run into the flat, I can either sit and stop and just find open space, or in this case, the defender overcommits. I could break back across his face to the middle of the field, and you're wide open.
What's up?
They'll run out of the gun. This is White. And he'll get about 4 to the 29.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Here's 2nd and 6.
Six. Set.
That's Palmer, the man in motion.
What's up?
On 2nd down, Baker. To the left side, to Godwin. That's his 3rd catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
Great pre-snap recognition here by the quarterback. He looks outside and sees man coverage, and he knows exactly where he's going to go with the ball. Now it's up to the receiver to create separation at the top of the route. Ball's on time, great placement, nice big pickup.
A couple of first downs, and the football's out to the 48-yard line as they come up 1st and 10.
What's up?
On the handoff, it's White. And that'll be a pickup of 3.
He's across midfield to the 49-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7.
Set. Set.
Here comes Otten in motion.
Set.
They go play action with Mayfield. Hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be 3rd down.
The whole idea of the play-action pass, Mike, is that you can slow the pass rush down enough that it allows longer, slower developing pass concepts to open up downfield. But in this case, they were on him so fast that by the time he got his head around, that ball needed to come out. There was no timing and ultimately led in an incompletion.
From the gun on third down, it's Mayfield. And he's going to get there. He got the first down, not by a whole lot, but that'll keep this drive rolling.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
On first down is Mayfield. Godwin working the right side. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. He'll try the right side with White. Good running there. He's got the first down inside the 30.
I think this second down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst, they had themselves set up for a third down and short. But there's no need for third down. He was able to get enough on second, and they get a fresh set of downs.
First and 10. They send Godwin in motion. Mayfield to throw it here on first down. He'll swing this one out wide to his running back. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
What an advantage it brings a defense when you have cornerbacks that are such willing tacklers. It just brings an extra element to the ability to defend the entire field. And this is a great example here why.
They face 2nd down and 7. The give to White. And he'll get this inside the 20, a nice run. They're in the red zone. It's first down.
Second down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a first down.
Ball down to the 16-yard line, and it's first and 10. Here comes Otten in motion. On first and 10, here's Baker. That's his tight end, Otten.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. On the ground, this is White. And he'll be taken down as we tick down to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to go here till halftime. Greg and I back from Tampa. after a timeout.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
A chance here to draw level before the break. It's first and goal. Mayfield to throw. He's got it at the 3.
These are the worst. I had a couple years, Mike, where I swear I got tackled inside the 1-yard line 10 times, and then you look back and you're like, man, how many touchdowns did I leave on the board because I couldn't get one more yard? Now, for him individually, not ideal, but right now they're on the doorstep of the end zone, and they got to find a way to put that ball across the goal line.
He'll try to run with White. He slams it in there, and he is in. Rashad White, touchdown Buccaneers. Good drive. They kept the ball. Greg, they moved it effectively down the field and finish it off on the ground for the touchdown.
So often, Mike, we see teams work on a great drive to get down here close, only to settle for a field goal. But in this case, give them a lot of credit. They put a great drive together, but they're able to capitalize and finish it off with 6.
On is Chase McLaughlin for the extra point. It's up and through. And the Buccaneers will tie things up. It's now 10-10.
Chase McLaughlin, the kickoff for the Buccaneers.
So back to level after the touchdown in time for the kickoff. This will be returned from the 6. Yeah! And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense getting set to get back to work. They'll see if they can go out breaking our tie. We're all even at 10 as this drive begins, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. That's over the middle to the tight end Ingram. And he's going to take this all the way to the house. 75 yards. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Using the tight end to get to the end zone, Greg, it's your old position. You're very familiar with that. That catch and carry. What an ability for your tight end to take it to the house.
Yeah, and this was never really the strength of my game, Mike, but we're seeing so many tight ends around the league who not only are great at securing the catch and making the tough ones, but it's their ability to extend the play after the catch that's separating them, just like we saw here.
On comes Joshua Carty for the extra point. He knocks it through. And the Jaguars go up by 7. It is now 17-10.
Buccaneers